John Bertsche.
I just like to say I took intro to dance 3 times. So, I mean, if that says anything. Here's the deal. Tonight I'm not going to be talking about ancient aliens, but I am going to be talking about something just as mysterious to me. Social interaction. See, here's the deal. It's senior year, so that means it's time to run through the old social anxiety highlight reel. First of all, I'd just like to take a second and apologize to anyone who's ever run into me in the hallway ever. You know who you are. I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me. Anyway, tonight I'd like to peel back the veil, if you will, on some of my finest moments. And like any good sermon, thanks Dad, I've broken this up into 3 main points with an eye-catching title. Adventures in Social Anxiety, School, Hangouts, and Parties. See, throughout high school, I've learned to judge every social situation by what I like to call the awkwardness risk factor. So, here's how it works. I'll take something tame, like asking somebody for a pencil. Easy, low risk factor. I'll go for it. Now, let's take something a little bit more risky for me, like talking to girls. Hard pass. You know, I once saw my brother in a group of my freshman brother, right? In a group of 12 girls. And they were chatting it up. They were laughing at everything he was saying. And I watched him, and in that moment, I realized that he was talking to more girls than I have in my entire high school career. Now on to hangouts, because calling them parties would be too formal. I'll be vulnerable with you guys tonight and admit that I've only been to maybe 3, period. And I don't think it's because people don't want to invite me. Maybe it's the pit stains, I don't know. But I think it's more because people assume that I don't want to be there. And they're right. But once in a blue moon, I'll get out on the social scene. So, here I am. John Bertsche at a hangout. And so I'm in someone's house, likely their basement, and I found my place right by the dessert table, trying to look occupied. And I look around and I see the main circle of people, and I think, what could be the harm in trying to talk to them? So I make my way over there, and what's the first thing I hear? Someone wants to play a party game. Oh dear. So they run through the classics, right? You've got your Quiplash, your Monopoly, your Truth or Dare, your Body Body. What's that? You haven't heard of Body Body? Well, aside from the wholly unoriginal name, Body Body is essentially this hybrid between hide and go seek and assassin, but in the dark. So you can see where problems might arise. Here's the deal. For me, when I go to a party, the lights are on. I'm able to get a lay of the land, assess the awkwardness risk factors, right? With the lights off, I've lost my only tactical advantage. But all right, they say, and here's the average partygoer. All right, not body body? Okay, how about spin the bottle, hug, or slap? What? How is that not worse than regular spin the bottle? I mean, I don't want to slap any of my friends, but somehow I want to hug them even less. It's a real Sophie's choice. It's one for the film buffs out there. So, if you're following your aforementioned outline, we've reached our final destination. Parties. Now, here's the thing. When I say parties, I am explicitly and directly referring to cast parties and school dances, because those are obligations. And here's the thing about school dances. I'm following my date around the whole night. That's it. Now for the meaty subject. Cast parties. See, here's the thing. When I go to a cast party, they usually divide themselves up into these 3 main factions. So, I've gone to label them the living room gamers, the table conversationalists, and the basement ravers. Now parents whose ears just perked up at the sound of the word rave, don't worry. By rave, I only mean a bunch of exhausted cast members still in full hair and makeup traveling down to someone's basement, jumping in a sweaty mass to chaperone monitored music. So no big deal. But if you're like me and find that that might not be quite your speed, you can head upstairs to one of the other 2 factions. First of all, to the living room gamers, thank you for finding a far less sweaty way to enjoy the evening. I'd be right there with you if I didn't find my place in the third and final faction, the table conversationalists. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, John, conversation? That implies that you're gonna have to talk to people. Trust me, I got this. Here's the thing. Usually it's located right by the dessert table, which is great news for me, because that's a place where I'm comfortable. But also, I've found myself able to sit down, listen in on the conversations, and insert myself if and when appropriate. Whew. Bet you never knew cast parties were so political. You know, this has been a very cathartic experience for me this evening. As much stress as these situations may have brought, they never failed to keep things interesting. But with graduation, a new challenge arises. Grad parties. Not if, but when you see me at the dessert table, please come talk to me, because I'm likely scared, anxious, and crossing my fingers that someone doesn't make me play body-body. Thank you so much, you guys have been great.